do today's analysis. So starting with C300, they are currently in a supply zone here. So I just want to see if this zone holds where they are. This is 4-hour, and I'm focusing on this order block here. So they might come slightly above and drop, or they might come up into this zone here. So those are the 2 points of interest I have. So what we need is H1 to show us that they are now reversing for the day. So let's see. Okay, this was yesterday. Yesterday they retraced into the broken order block here. So they moved, then they retraced here, then they broke another order block. This was a clean sell, but I wasn't stoking on it. But yeah, it played out. So today they've broken this one. They are within this whole zone here. So if they can come slightly above, that will do. Or if they keep pushing up, we'll wait for a reaction here. So we're waiting for them around 32.80 to 33.20. That's my point of interest at the top here and this current zone here. So if they start respecting this, we'll look for a pattern, then we'll look for sales. This is still the target here. If you notice, remember yesterday we were saying we want them to come here. They actually came close. So maybe they are now starting to reverse. We never know. But for now, if we get a reaction here, then we'll look for sales. That's my current view on C3. C5, we still want that sell. So let's speak about yesterday, bro. Yesterday, C5, we stoked it. And if you notice on M15, from the point we started stoking, I think we started it around here. Then we said they will extend the high. So they actually extended the high. They came up here, but they didn't break our safe entry zone, this order block. They didn't break it, so they continued pushing up. They set another peak. Again, they didn't break this. Continued pushing up until they created this peak here. So when they were here, I actually saw it, but I was going to bed and I was like, you know what, let me just sleep. Let me leave it because I don't want to enter, then fall asleep, then wake up with a loss. So if we had continued following it after this peak, this was the order block they broke, or we could have used this one. So either of the two would have worked. Here would have entered whilst the candle was moving, or we could have waited for a retracement, and here they broke, then retested with a nice rejection candle there. Then they dropped. Eventually they got here. So they just took out this liquidity here, then they started pushing back up. That was yesterday's trade. So today, again, I think we hesitated here because I still wasn't sure here what they want to do. And there was no clean order block here. The only clean order block we have is right on the bottom. So I wasn't sure whether to execute or to wait. So they dropped. Now it looks like they are rejecting this zone, which is what we want them to do. The safe entry, though, is when we come below here and we get a small retracement. Then we're going to look for a sell coming into this order block here. That's my sell, of which it's still short term. The daily, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure what they want to do, because if you notice daily now, after setting this peak, we broke a structure here, right? So this is a lower high. We now have a higher high here. We have a higher low here. We have a higher high here and a higher low here. So that's why I'm saying they could also be preparing to push up. So we don't want to hold onto the cells for too long, because I feel like they're pushing up. So let's just see what happens though. So they could still come back down into the zone. That's also possible, because all this area is just like consolidation. It's just like consolidation. Even that short-term sell, you can see it's within this consolidation. So let's wait. But if we can come below this, Let me just check that low there. Okay, if we can come below this low here, then we could actually get a good sell to the downside, because it will now be like a trend reset. So this push down, this will look like it wants to reverse and push up, but it will actually reject here, and the downtrend will then continue pushing down. So that's what we're hoping could happen. So let's just see. We've got one runner on this MT5 derivative. I still haven't changed the saver, so I'm just executing on my phone. So yeah, that's C5. We're still waiting for a safe sell. If we come below this red line here, we're selling again. We add one position. Once we come below 33.75, we're going to add one more. Then we see if they can at least come to 33.60. After they get here, we'll see whether we close or we close one and we leave one, and so that maybe if they break, we'll still have one position as they continue pushing down. So we'll just see what happens here. Once they come below 33.75, we scale it. Then our stop loss is 33.85. So the stop loss is all right because it's tight. It's not really a big risk. So the setup is all right like that. C1, you will notice that they actually reacted from this broken order block from H1 and dropped. We broke structure. So that's a willingness to come down, but at the same time, we've hit the zone here. So that's why we retraced up. We came back, retested the broken order block from yesterday. And this is an order block which has been broken. So we can still get price coming down, but I would love to see them breaking the same zone here, this zone. If they can break here, then we can hold all the way to this red zone on the bottom here, 57.95. So what we want to see is we want to get an entry in here. Then if they break, we want to scale in. That's what we're looking for there. If they do something else, then we won't have any setup. The M30, they can potentially retrace into this order block here. So that's on 59. We're going to say 59.22. Stop loss is not that bad at 59.35. Yeah. So we're going to have a sell limit at 59.22, and we're going to have a stop loss at 59.35. So that's about a 13 pip stop loss. So the trade, if it's a 0.2 lot size, it should go to about negative $2 something, maybe $2.30 or $2.50, somewhere there. Then we can close it. Then the risk, the reward, we can target these lows. Then if we break, I'm looking for a possible continuation to the downside. That's my current view for now. So we've got 59.22. Let's see if we've got anything else. Let's actually make it 59.20. 59.20, same stop loss, 59.35. So we risk a solid 15 pips and we see if they play out. But again, we should just take note because right now they are bouncing off yesterday's lows. So they might do this. That's also possible. So we'll just see how they act here. If they give us something solid, then I'm sure we'll push down. But they might also come up. So we just have to keep an eye on how they move. The B5 I actually had this setup, so I think we're going to buy. I'm going to open one position on B5 at current market price. Let's see, didn't we have a position already here? Let's see. Okay, we didn't. So B5, B5, B5. I'm going to open one position at current market price. The reason I'm opening this position is because we are in a bullish bias. We have a bullish bias in price is broken this zone and retested it. So I'm just keeping it simple. And I also had this zone in case they had reacted here. So if they should retrace, it will probably just be to here and push up. So stop loss goes below the last M15 candle, which will be on 48.71. It's actually quite a big stop loss because it's almost 20 pips. 48.71, yeah, 48.71 stop loss. All right, let's see. I'm looking for confluences now. It looks like it's already wants to move. Let's see. So here I'm just looking for confluences. The reason I was doubting it is because I was not happy with the H1. Because if you look the daily, if you look at the daily, you see this spike here. So that's liquidity taken out here, and that's a zone tested here. So I was thinking they could actually still push down before coming up. So I also don't want to hold it for too long yet. Okay, I think I'm just happy with that one position here. Let's see how H1 closes. So we just have one runner on B5, and we'll keep checking it for how this candle closes. We can potentially push up to yesterday's highs, which is around 49.30. If we can get to 49.30, it will be a good trade. If price can get to 49.30, that will be a good trade because that will be almost what, 40 pips. So it will just be a 1:2, risking $4 to make 8 on the smallest lot size. So let's see how that goes. We'll just wait and see how the H1 closes. So B1 could be giving us that retracement we want. It could be giving us the retracements. Let's see. Yeah, I'm looking for reasons to buy. So from this particular time frame, this setup is complete if we had bought it from where we wanted to buy, because this is yesterday's highs. So it's a zone. Unless we get a break and a retest, this is what we will trade. Anything in here might be tricky because now they could actually want to reverse going down. So I feel like let's rather wait for them to push up some more, then retrace into that area. Then maybe we could actually buy again. Possible play. $20-minute time frame bullish. Okay, now this move can get to today's high. Okay, yesterday's high is here. So this is a zone. What we want to see is we want this price to come up here for us to buy. This move can just get here, then retrace. If we can get maybe a W pattern in here, we might also buy. That's also possible. But we'll see. We'll just stalk it and see how these candles play. So this move will most likely extend up until today's high. That's what I think. Then after that, we'll see what they do. Then we can trade maybe later on in the day. J10, I think we had a bearish view yesterday, and what they did is they ended up creating a buy pattern at the bottom here. And the sell we wanted still played out because they created the peak here by extending the current high and tapping into the zone from a higher time frame. They broke this order block. Then here they came back below, retested. For short-term scalping, it could have been tradable, but this best setup would have been actually this this buy up. So today now on J10, we are on the 13 EMA. I think it would be best to see what they want to do. So for now, I don't have anything solid because we could actually get sells. We still have like a strong zone here, which they can retest into. So if we can get a sell pattern on M15, then I'll still consider sells here. Then this one on V250 1S, I think we're waiting for price to come up here. They eventually did. First touch, second touch. This is also a point of interest up here. So they could extend this high, come up here, then sell, or we can sell from here. So let's see if we've got any pattern. H1, safe sells will be below this order block here. Safe sells will be below 63,830. Once price comes below 63,830 with some nice momentum, then we can look for sells. But if not, they can still extend, come up here like we said, then a new pattern will form. But for now, this is what I see. M15 peak order block. There's so many opposing order blocks here. So from our peak, this would be our sell order block to come down. But to the left, we've got a zone now which has been broken. So price could actually be bouncing here and pushing up. So I wouldn't call this a setup here. I'd rather wait for them to break this H1 zone for me to consider sells. So that's my view on V250S. J10, we're going to wait. B1 will keep stoking. B5, we've got a runner. C1 looks like it's in motion now. I'm not sure if we are able to sell. Do we have enough margin to sell C1? If you've got enough margin to sell C1, then you can sell one position in CMP. So this is just a breaker block or an order block which was broken and being retested. That's how I'm seeing it. But I also have a zone here where they can still come into. So just keep in mind, if you see them coming up, they could be coming to respect this zone. Remember, we've got 59.20 as a sell limit. So they can still come up there. But for now, I've got one runner there. Then C5 is refusing. You see that bullish view we have from a higher time frame. It could actually be the one pushing price up, and it's actually about to hit stop loss. So I don't think we have anything on C5 for now. Let's see. So it's just like just about 5 pips on my side. It's just 5 pips or loss on C5. So I'm going to cut that one. If it falls, then it falls. I would have missed it. But I've decided not to trade it for now. So it will hit stop loss. That's fine. Let's see if I can open. Okay, so yeah, C1 I've got one position. So I've got one position C1, one position B5, stoking B1. And I think that's it for today. C5 will stoke it. We'll just see. Maybe they might give us something later. Maybe they might give us a third touch on the 200 EMA here, which is near today's highs. Maybe that's where we're going to sell from. So we're going to keep stoking. But for now, let's just play with C1 and B1. Those are our two running trades. I think that's it for today. If there's anything else, I think we'll continue chatting on WhatsApp, and I'll still send signals if they appear on Telegram. Thanks for joining, bro. Have a good one. Good trading.